Chat, we can't watch it. Wait, what do you mean I'm in it? Why would it be in this? This is the darkest corners. Why would it be in the darkest corners? I don't do all that. Is it actually good? Maybe I'll watch like 3 parts of it. Right here. I watched it years ago? Wow. With love this time, okay.
Live early
Saturday.
on my birthday, thank.
Wildfires are decimating Hawaii. The Barbenheimer phenomenon is in full force. And over in an unassuming corner of cyberspace, someone creates a YouTube channel with an urgent call to action.
This matter is of utmost significance for the survival of every living being on this planet.
It's called the Earth Save Science Collaborative, and it's hosted by a
Wait, the
man
Destiny
named
shit!
Egon Shalakian.
Hold on.
On his channel, we can find over 180 videos of this man warning people about global issues like climate change, nanoplastics, and disinformation.
Chat, Destiny's video is actually interesting about this. It makes you go actually schizo. Chat, I watched the first time the Destiny video, like when I was like in the dark, whatever, and it scared me. Chat, I don't know what it is about that video. It scared me.
Admittedly, while these are all issues that are plaguing the world, the way Aegon is framing them is a bit odd. In every single one of his videos, he sits in front of a camera dressed in a suit, goes on about his various accolades, and spends anywhere from around 30 minutes to 3.5 hours fear-mongering about things like geophysical anomalies inside the Earth's core that, upon doing further research, appear to have little to no basis in scientific fact. According to Aegon, if humanity doesn't unite to solve this global threat, then the end of the world is quite literally just a few years away. On his website, earthsavesciencecollaborative.com, we can find a section that gives us insight into his cause. And at a cursory glance, we can notice a plethora of colorful phrasing formatted in bold for dramatic effect. Aegon claims that there are alarming anomalies. There's a chaotic acceleration of the planet's rotation, that humanity only has a few years to avert an impending catastrophe, and upon taking a look at their scientific papers, he makes bizarre claims about an external and unknown cosmic force that's causing all of this.
Wait.
Now, to me, this entire movement comes off as conspiratorial. Aegon, in my opinion, consistently instills urgency in the reader, distorts science-backed evidence to fit his narrative, and given that he appears to be someone so ingrained in academia and the government, is feigning credibility while banking on the hope that you won't ever verify his claims.
Wait, no, not this picture!
But, okay.
Not this picture, ah!
So, we found a channel on YouTube with a random old guy that uploads crazy videos about an impending calamity that could happen in as little as years. Why exactly are we giving this guy attention? And what truly is the big deal here? Well, while in any other circumstance I would have moved on before this video even started, there was one simple thing that kept me here. His hands. Online, people have noticed that in certain videos, Aegon doesn't move. And
I made it on the screen! Mom! Look! That's my shoulder! That's my shoulder! I made it onto the screen!
while it's such a simple, silly observation, it's effectively morphed what was supposed to be just a random internet
Dr.
anomaly
Roach, hold on.
into one of the strangest
Meth
and
guy,
most
hold on!
perplexing
This is the
internet rabbit
Avengers!
holes that I have ever seen.
Chat,
We'll
Loki is the big three.
return after these messages.
Alright guys, before we continue, just a quick story time. Alright, so as you guys...
Chat, I will link his video URL, and make sure to buy at least, oh fuck. At least 8 copies, because I bought 643 copies just yesterday, and it was the best purchase I've ever made.
Government AI-generated fake YouTubers are now a thing, and they're super scary. Hi guys, Recently, I found a video on YouTube about Destiny doing some research and some weird things, and one thing caught my attention. This dude named Aegon Shalakian is supposed to be a person with a lot of influence in the US government, but he never existed, and everything about him is just odd or weird in some way. He has a YouTube channel in which he only speaks directly to a camera, speaks a bunch of nonsense about geopolitical stuff, and does not move. I'm being serious, this guy sits for 3 hours without moving his hands. All across the internet, we can find him. On LinkedIn, Facebook, research archives, and photographed with countless major public figures in governments and academia. Aegon, according to his Facebook and LinkedIn profiles, carries a highly decorated resume, having studied at numerous prestigious institutions like Harvard, MIT, and Stanford. And while this looks impressive, he notes that he somehow attended these universities at the exact same time. Now, as we know, anyone can put anything on a LinkedIn profile, and given that his accolades are so incredibly out there, it's possible that some, if not all of his social media claims are bogus. On top of this, if we perform a search for Aegon Shalakian on the internet, we'll find that hardly any of his actual research comes up. For someone so ingrained, so well-networked, you would think that this man's work would be everywhere. But aside from his own profiles, paid articles he himself submitted to the press, and videos from his YouTube channel, little, if anything, is out there. It seems that all we have are a myriad of images depicting Aegon with public figures. However, upon looking at them closer, even these seem strangely uncanny. He can be seen photographed with former CIA Director Stansfield Turner, but it looks...
What do you mean? Oh, this one!
This one's with a Harvard colleague named Robert Merton.
The glove!
But what's going on here? Okay, what about this one? This one looks normal.
No!
No.
Don't look at it!
Hold on. Aegon Shalakian has fabricated a massive network of images depicting endless aspects of his life that never happened. This is why he's garnered such an infamous reputation. The bizarre, nonsensical LinkedIn timeline, the unnatural ability to sit still for over 3 hours at a time.
What if these guys are they're just waiting for this to go viral so that they get more data and more footage from people reacting like me, whatever, and they'll make a big result. Guys, we did this big scheme on the internet, and then it's like it's like a research piece on the people that are gonna watch it. Wait, hold on.
Professing absolute nonsense. In the photos, his entire online presence rests in the uncanny valley. And given how proficient AI has become at spoofing entire personalities online, this left many across the internet wondering if this could be what's going on here.
But that was before, though.
Is Aegon Shalakian, proficient researcher, world-renowned scientist, and highly decorated alumnus of numerous prestigious universities, even a real
That was slightly before the AI boom, though. Slightly before.
Person? Or is this one of the most involved examples of the dead internet theory that we've ever seen? On Aegon's channel exists a documentary called The Impact, and in it, we can hear an AI George Washington calling the audience to action against a so-called foreign enemy. It goes on to fearmonger about impending civil war, so-called anti-cult organizations that oppose him, and it puts forth various potential scenarios about the end of the world.
There's one.
It is, for all intents and purposes,
What the fuck is
complete
that?
AI slop. And weirdest of all, it goes on for 8 entire hours.
8 hours?
If you click around this video, you will learn nothing. It's just a bunch of random propaganda wrapped up in vernacular that simply goes on in circles. Yet, even so, surprisingly,
Chat,
this
chat,
video...
and then you fall asleep at night and you have this in the background, chat, and you sleep when this entire shit plays through and your brain intakes all this information.
has found an audience. Thank you to all that stood up to protect our Constitution and our rights. Yeah, by the way, it's so nice to see actual journalism for a change. You all didn't have the complete story. The rabbit hole
Wait, look,
goes much
word,
deeper.
dash, letter, number, letter.
This is 8 hours long, and you're saying we don't have the complete story? What? So I'll just go forth and say it. I refuse to believe that anyone on planet Earth has had the willpower to sit down and attentively watch all 8 hours of
That's
this,
defaulting into it,
much
okay.
less consider it journalism. As we can see, these comments all come from those with randomized usernames.
No.
Empty YouTube channel.
Chat said it last time. I think that's whenever you have an account, like a Google account, whatever, and then you go to YouTube and it's like it defaults your name and it gives you like a randomized name or some shit. No? Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah. Yep.
Not a single profile picture.
Yeah, because it's
It
a Google
appears
account.
that the only ones here are bots. A revelation that does not help Aegon's case.
We're going a little bit deeper, okay? In chat, somebody brings up a YouTube video of this guy.
This part they loved.
My name is Aegon Chalakian. I am an intelligence educator. I prepare intelligence personnel for clandestine service. The focus of my career has been centered on the intelligence community of national...
As this mystery made its way across the internet thanks to a live stream by Destiny, it led many to scour for traces of him online. It quickly became clear that nearly all media involving Aegon Chalakian involved him speaking in front of a camera. His entire image was incredibly manicured, overproduced, and for a while, it seemed like there was nothing out there that could truly humanize him. But right when people were keen on throwing this entire mystery away as just another case of AI-generated nonsense, a random pandemic-era video depicting a Zoom call, of all things, found its way into the spotlight.
Hey there again.
How you doing?
Well, how about yourself?
Just peachy. I figured I'd step in early and just hang my hat.
Awesome. Fabulous. We have some people that are just kind of hanging out here. The judges are deliberating. The pitches took a little bit less time than we had planned for, since we had...
And so, there we have it. Aegon is just peachy.
No.
And he's a real person.
It has to be real enough to do all the fake shit. Chat, I mean, it needs to have a model. Chat, you know, if you're gonna make something fake, really fake, you need something very real too.
Turns out that this guy pulled a Stephen McDaniel and somehow sat still for 3.5 hours, which is weird, but okay. So that's all this is then, right? A conspiracy theory YouTube channel run by an old man doctoring photos of himself and over-embellishing his achievements to make him seem more legitimate than he is. Someone who, admittedly, seems pretty nice according to this call. And someone who found himself ensnared in an online conspiracy about his very existence, completely out of nowhere.
Hit the corner.
You know, the reason I do what I do is because of mysteries just like this.
Hold on.
Creepy internet anomalies that we can investigate and solve with a logical conclusion. Aegon has fabricated an entire online persona, and admittedly, it was an engaging investigation. So thank you guys so much. for watching.
I don't get it. Huh?
Something is wrong. All throughout Aegon's comment section, we'll notice the same commenters spread out across his uploads. And upon taking a look, interesting. What's going on with this?
F Society. Mr. Robot.
Representatives of the Creative Society delivered a substantive presentation addressing one of the most pressing issues that has long been the subject of my research and concern for many years.
Wait, CERN.
Weird, but okay. What the hell's the Creative Society?
Wait, I said Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot, Steins Gate, CERN. Chat. Yeah. Chat. Hold on.
There it is, again.
Wait, actually though.
Okay, I'm not trying to be tinfoil.
Chat, okay, hold on. Wait, I'm gonna go even more tinfoil hat in the video. Chat, in Mr. Robot, it has a CERN in it, right? It has the Hadron Collider, right? About time travel and alternate realities, right? And it's F Society. F Society. This one is Creative Society. It has a CERN in it. Just like in Steins Gate, where they have the CERN. I'm not kidding. Bro, it's actual inspired.
Hattie, but there are way too many oddities taking place with this channel. Every
I'm right.
single comment supports Aegon. They seem to heavily lean Russian. They all connect in some way to something called Creative Society. And upon closer inspection, why is Aegon on their website? From what it seems, Aegon Shalakian isn't just a one-man show. It's a group. So who in the world are these people?
Here's a typical morning routine as someone who owns 11 pets.
Okay, I've been making this brown sugar mocha dalgona lately, and Nescafe's helping me.
November 7th, 155 miles per hour winds just wiped out 80% of the city.
It is what all people want. We've been conducting a lot of surveys for several years.
No day without informing about Creative Society.
It is not some saintly cult. The Creative Society is all of humanity. And when I say all, it means all.
Oh, hold on. Go back. AI. Look at this shit. Why does she have two shelves that mirror or have the exact same thing, components at the back like that? What the fuck is that?
Society is all of humanity. And when I say all, it means all.
It's all AI celebrity. But why though?
Making its way onto every social media algorithm across the vast ocean of the internet is an idea. An idea that, on the surface, sounds idyllic, the sort of thing you'd hear in, let's say, a dream. The long-awaited arrival of a future we were promised, yet never came, and one that'll radically transform the lives of everyone that chooses to follow it. It goes by the Creative Society, and it's spilling out on a TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, really anywhere with
it's
an
all fake.
audience
It's like a
online.
web of agents.
Take a look around, and chances are you'll find it. Front and center on their website, we're greeted with oddly familiar dialogue. Today, as the global community faces an increasing threat of natural disasters, the pursuit of security and sustainability has become fundamental for everyone. This situation requires immediate and decisive collective action. Just like the Earth Save Science Collaborative, we're confronted with a conveyor belt of ideas, videos, and scientific reports that scaremonger about many of the same problems that Aegon told us about earlier.
But they're not real though.
Nanoplastics, catastrophic earthquakes, an increase in turbulence in the Earth's atmosphere. It honestly sounds like a complete rehash of the exact same information, So much so that when I was digging through this, I found myself wondering why they even bothered creating another site at all. Upon heading over to their About page, we're given somewhat of an answer, as the site goes from a retread of familiar information to something completely...
What if it's a villain, a real life villain, like not some movie, a real... And the guy's whole thing is to waste people's time and attention. And what they do is they create a bunch of webs of AI shit, so that people go into loops that go fucking absolutely nowhere. And its only goal is to deteriorate society by time wasting. What if countries did that to other countries? What if I'm doing that to you? Oh my god! Oh my god, stop it!
Before us, the Creative Society is more than just a bunch of scientists peddling dramatic theories about climate change. It's an international project uniting volunteers from over 180 countries, aka most of the world, with the goal of transitioning in a legal and peaceful way within the shortest possible time to a new creative format of society worldwide. Further down, they go on to reveal that their aims include eradicating climate change, which they believe is caused not by humans, but cosmic forces, as well as miraculously putting an end to all wars.
I mean, that's kind of true,
They guarantee that under this new system, all adults will receive a universal basic income every month and an extra $100,000 upon the birth of their first child. Free healthcare will exist across the world. Travel without restrictions. The eradication of all debts, mortgages, and taxes. And all of this can be achieved if we simply follow their lead and unite under the Creative Society.
No shit, I mean... Hold on. No, too far right to right. Check, come on, 5 minutes. Oh, I need to open my client. Do I need to update anything from this version this time around or not? Announcements. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I do actually. Vegas, I think it's tomorrow, no? I mean, surely it's tomorrow. Surely they don't put a delay on this for fucking weeks, right? Every day till 8 at 3 p.m. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, because I thought it was gonna be like last time. It's every other month on a leap year for 5 minutes every time that the sun goes down. Like, holy shit.
No, this clearly all sounds
like, are we dead ass with that? And close lights on. On G?
He's behind you, chat. Stay
chat,
aware, chat, he's watching.
I'm not,
getting closer,
I would
chat.
reset it because people might lack context, but at the same time, guys, this is just the video that we watched, and Destiny was doing the thing with the AI guy and the girl, and then it's like it overlaps and shit, and the hands, and then the fucking, that's pretty much the intro of the video. I don't know if there's much at the end of it.
Sounds way too good to be true. Much like how Aegon came off, it feels completely outlandish and conspiratorial. To be honest, it feels like the Creative Society has more in common with something like a religion, or perhaps even.
My neighbor
Can you
in
go
my house, like,
please?
if I'm facing out the guy to my left, he is a cult leader. He has this cult called the Creative Society. I swear to God.
What did they do?
They're like a doomsday, kind of like they're a doomsday cult, but they're like eco-doomsday. So they think that we're in the end of humanity, and the only way to bring us out of it is like through their method of creativity.
The concept of a new world order. A list of 8 pillars that their values
but
are
what
based
politics
on.
is that though?
The weird Illuminati-looking logo. All of this is packaged exactly like a cult. And although it seems obvious in hindsight, if you had merely stumbled upon it when scrolling online, you likely wouldn't even second guess it. This entire organization looks authentic, It pulls you in with its lengthy, seemingly well-researched reports and videos on important topics, led by experts who look legitimate. And it promises of a perfect world where you can be free if only you spread their message. And somehow, it's actually working. Plastered all over their website are image after image after image depicting everyday people posing with Creative Society paraphernalia. From what it seems, this group is utilizing their appearance to wiggle their way into various climate expos, US-based business conventions, and even medical offices. This, combined with their immensely aggressive social media presence, in which their videos are spammed on nearly every platform you can think of, gives insight into why so many around the world have found their cause. Like with everything else, they carry the appearance of doing a net good for the world. However, as I sit here writing this, I am honestly more confused than ever because quite literally none of this makes any sense. So far, we've seen two interconnected climate activist groups that are very clearly peddling more than they've let on. Doing any sort of surface level research into any of them reveals that their claims are extraordinary. They distort science, fabricate their credibility, and even on the Creative Society's website, they go on about a utopian new world order. Either none of these people are doing any research into the organizations they're so outwardly supporting, or they are, and I'm just the crazy one that doesn't see their vision. To me, the entire existence and support of the Creative Society is one massive paradox. People should be writing them off. So what really is going on here? Upon scouring the net for any information about this group, I happened upon an article written in 2022 on BBC.com. Penned by two climate disinformation reporters named Marco Silva and Marilyn Thomas, they dive into, of all things, how the Creative Society is fraudulent. They explain how several high-profile scientists were, at one point, invited to speak at their online events, mistakenly believing that they'd be educating the public, only to have their words entirely twisted. They claim that video footage was edited to remove any mention of the human causes of climate change, instead framing them as if they agree with the Creative Society's outlandish views. Since then, these fraudulent videos have been blasted across their socials, fueling propaganda and continuing to attract more and more of the general population.
If you didn't record your own speech, right, and you go to somebody's convention and you do a speech and they edit the fuck out of it, I mean, you could get completely smoked. I mean, if they do twist your words, I mean, that could be crazy.
To their cause. It's clear that this toxic combination of distortion and dissemination is what's quietly elevating them to prominence. But even still, there's a question brimming in the back of my mind. Who exactly is behind all of this?
But why? Also, why though?
On their website, the Creative Society simply states that there's no one person funding or directing them. It's all just this undulating network of volunteers banding together to change humanity. However, it's when we scour the BBC article when we'll find that that isn't exactly true. Within it, they name drop a man, someone who's been affiliated with the Creative Society and shows up throughout the bulk of their online presence. In fact, it's a man who you've already seen several times throughout this video, hosting their conferences, introducing their YouTube videos, speaking on their network of over 200 channels across thousands of videos.
What?
He doesn't exactly hide himself, but he remains just distant and unfamiliar enough to the average person to not arouse suspicion and to coordinate things from behind the scenes. His name is Igor Mikhailovich Danilov, formerly a chiropractor, now the leader of the Creative Society, and someone who's also listed as the leading figure in a Ukrainian spiritual movement, which... Hold on. Alatra is known for promoting pseudoscience and wild conspiracy theories involving aliens and secretive powerful elites that sacrifice children.
Okay. Why, what?
Okay, that is an absolutely insane statement, but that name, we've seen that name before. Right under our nose, a group has been operating. And upon digging into them further and cross-referencing them with the Earth Save Science Collaborative and the Creative Society, it's become clear to me that everything we've covered up to this point was nothing but a front. A funnel to the real core of this rabbit hole.
Elytra. What is that though?
Elytra. Hidden within every climate report and embedded in every viral video are endless references to something called Elytra, an organization which, as it turns out, has much deeper and more expansive roots than anything we've seen so far. They're the ones behind the Creative Society project, the ones paying Egon Chalakian to lobby in the US government. The true puppet master behind this sprawling network of interconnected accounts that are quietly taking over the internet.
I thought I was a bot.
While up to this point, we've seen the prior groups spreading misinformation and outlandish ideas, what Elytra truly believes at their core is so far out there, so off the rails, that I struggle to comprehend how they've ever been taken seriously. According to the videos on their vast network of YouTube channels, they sincerely believe that humans are capable of telepathy and have conducted several experiments using a walk-in pyramid where volunteers transmit symbols with their minds in front of a live audience. They have videos showing members taking photographs of their thoughts, infographics about the soul coming from space, even podcast appearances where they talk about aliens
Bro, try to read this.
among us.
Oh, wait, never mind.
Considering the level of their development, the Apexians had already colonized millions and millions of planets by that time.
Who the fuck are the
And
Apexians?
naturally, they had developed methods of working with humanoids like us, right? So they took the simplest option. They elevated themselves to the rank of God.
Naturally, on their website, they mention none of this, instead describing themselves with the familiar spiel we know all too well by now.
Wait,
Volunteers across 180 countries, nanoplastics, the usual.
Bro,
It's one
chat. If microplastics are scary, I mean, sure, but nanoplastics, wouldn't that be the same thing but not as bad? I mean, I'm confused.
Let me take a look at their about page, though, when we're able to spot something strange. Taking up nearly half of this page is a massive section about a supposed defamation campaign enacted upon Elytra by a group called the Russian Association of Centers for Religious and Sect Studies, or RACERS for short.
Oh, it
Elytra
goes deeper,
claims that this group sought to tarnish its image by accusing them of believing in ideologies laid out in
whoa.
Taking up our page, though, when we're able to spot something strange. Taking up nearly half of this page is a massive section about a supposed defamation campaign enacted upon Elytra by a group called the Russian Association of Centers for Religious and Sect Studies, or RACERS for short. Elytra claims that this group sought to tarnish its image by accusing them of believing in ideologies laid out in so-called fiction books that they once published. Furthermore, they go on to claim that they are absolutely not an apocalyptic cult and that all rhetoric supporting this is intentionally trying to discredit them. You know, it's funny they say that because we kind of already had an idea. If the alien beliefs and weird telepathic experiments weren't enough to give it away, then them outright claiming that they're not a cult, guys, they're not a cult, is a bit of a dead giveaway. But I digress.
Well, I mean, they call themselves the racers.
With this in mind,
oh no, sorry,
I did some digging
that's
into
the opposition.
Elytra itself and stumbled upon a trove of information about their early years. I know I sound like a broken record when I say this, but even with everything we've seen them peddle so far, things still get stranger. In their early years, Elytra was born as nothing more than a publishing house, releasing novels penned by an author named Anastasia Novik. These books are highly spiritual and feature a being named Rigdon Japo, who's a sort of prophet for Elytra. Supposedly, he's been reincarnated. He can teleport, read minds, and displays numerous other superhuman abilities. Exactly the kind that they're trying to replicate in the pyramid videos. In essence, he's their version of Jesus, and some of the books even read like religious texts, containing conversations between Japo and Novik, where he relays the word of their god, a disembodied voice named Alat, to the reader. The most interesting part about Japo, though, has nothing to do with his supernatural behavior, but rather his job. In their very first book, dating way back to 2003, he's introduced in his earthly form as a martial arts teacher and, well, would you look at that, a chiropractor. His students call him sensei, but on more than one occasion, he is directly referred to by the name Igor Mikhailovich.
Igor.
While Alatra may have passed these books off as mere works of fiction, the inclusion of Igor Danilov is very real. This man, to this day, is convincing thousands to follow him. He professes the ideas baked into these novels in his troves of YouTube videos and on every Alatra website, and he convinces humans that they're capable of doing things that are physically impossible. At this point, we've transcended the realm of pseudoscience and societal manipulation, because this man, Igor Danilov, is trying to be a prophet. A warped, twisted, and disturbed prophet, leveraging his power behind the scenes to not only control people, but to enact some of the most disgusting acts imaginable.
It's called conducts what? What? Conducts what? Orgy, what the fuck? Hell no!
Добрый вечер. Я очень благодарна, что вы вышли со мной на связь. Я понимаю, что время у нас довольно ограничено, поэтому давайте пройдемся по тем вопросам, которые бы хотелось, ответы на которые хотелось бы общественности показать.
The video you're currently watching is an interview between a Russian journalist named Elena Namlieva and one of Igor Danilov's former so-called heavenly birds. In fear of retaliation, her identity has been concealed. However, the information she provides gives us an eerie look into his other ventures. In this interview, the woman explains that Igor, joined by other cult members, would regularly partake in group intercourse with upwards of 13 women at a time. These women, as far as she knew, ranged anywhere from 20 to 40 years in age, and these acts were supposedly meant to cleanse their spirit. Igor Danilov, being the group's prophet, would utilize his power to coerce them into participating, and if they refused, resisted, or told anyone about what was happening behind closed doors, then he would convince them that their soul is all but damned to hell. You're either with us and remain silent, or are against us and are siding with Satan, he would claim. An unthinkable form of psychological manipulation that has kept women silent.
The thing is that, like, cults and these sects or whatever, like, they run rampant, even in countries that are more access information is easier, like America or whatever. Like, not too long ago, they were still pretty, like, they would do the longest shift, the longest time, all unseen, unregulated, unpoliced, forever. And it still happens, right? So many of the countries where access to information is even way lower, and how it's harder for the public to know about the shit. I mean, this is like, there could be a bazillion of these. I mean, it's not surprising at all.
And entangled in Danilov's web for years.
Конечно, это постоянно девушек держит в страхе. То есть, я говорю, это не в открытую происходит, но это постоянно фоном, да, проходит сквозь все беседы, сквозь все встречи, что или ты с нами, или ты попадаешь в ад и будешь вечно расплачиваться и страдать.
Yeah. How did the videos
As
help
details
him?
about Danilov's actions trickled out over the years, and
I mean, I think that his video thing is just it's a body to form some of a foundation. It's easier to sell a product when you have some track record of all of that. I mean, when you have a fucking thousands of hours of footage, some people would get lost by oh, look at all we've done, whatever. I mean, they'd get lost by the time you already got them. You know what I mean?
Investigations into Alatra began to ramp up.
Like
in 2023, the Ukrainian Orthodox Church allegedly became so concerned about this group that they labeled them a psycho cult, while simultaneously Russia also declared their activities undesirable. Their controversial beliefs, psychological manipulation and coercion, and worshipping their leader as if he was some kind of messiah were starting to cause concern. And with the member base growing day by day, Alatra was rapidly morphing from the appearance of an innocent climate-focused organization into a legitimate global threat. In August of that year, Ukrainian forces organized a series of raids on the homes of Alatra's key members. They scoured Ukraine from top to bottom and followed every lead they had, no matter how insignificant. More than 20 cells were broken up, yet surprisingly, Danilov was nowhere to be seen. While the case, though, they weren't entirely empty-handed, as what they found instead was so unexpected, so completely out of left field, that it turns this entire movement on its head. Inside one of their compounds, Ukrainian authorities uncovered an array of weapons, religious texts, and a myriad of blurred red objects.
What do you mean by that? Why is it blurred?
Well, good thing there's a video. So let's see.
I don't get it. Why is it blurred? What's all that? What's all that? Trump 2024? Yeah, but
all throughout this compound are not only shrines dedicated to Vladimir Putin, but Trump hats everywhere. This is why they're creating account after account, specializing in nearly every country in the world to spread their message. This is why they're paying Egon Chalakian to cozy up to any major governmental figure he can. This is why they spread to California and have launched.
Chad, they're just LARPers. They just LARP as that because they want to get some supporters, some the people that are probably more at risk or more prone to fall under the guise of. I mean, it's way easier for people to gain followers if they say that they're Trump supporters or whatever. I mean, it makes sense.
A trendy new YouTube channel for a fresh American audience.
Wait, you think it's a thing to promote
These
Trump?
people will
Nah,
not
it would be
stop
the
their
opposite.
efforts
I mean,
until they land someone inside the White House and beyond.
No, I don't.
And
I don't see it.
You wouldn't believe it, but they're
Well,
well
I'm
on
defending
their
it.
way
Is that
there.
I just don't see it because you need to like it's like you watch a video and you don't even intake any information. Yeah, I'll go back. Like I don't think it would make sense. Everything is angled more to garner and to get more than to go outwards. They want people to come in and be part of their shit, whatever, right? How does that benefit them? That Trump, whatever. It's more of a way for them to get it. It's more of a magnet. I mean, I don't understand why you would think the opposite. I don't get it.
Yeah, and have launched a trendy new YouTube channel for a fresh American audience. These people will not stop their efforts until they land someone inside the White House and beyond. And you wouldn't believe it, but they're well on their way there.
I am running for president of the United States of America to give power back to the people and build a creative society worldwide.
It turns out that former football coach and presidential candidate Robbie Wells has been associated with Alatra in the Creative Society since 2019, running for office, circulating the same rhetoric about a universal basic income, using every social media account to deliver pro-Alatra, pro-Putin conspiracies to his followers. Pastor Mark Burns, the man who just helped erect the golden statue of Trump, also has video after video spanning every one of his socials, supporting Alatra's cause.
Spiritual advisor to President Trump. What?
And most insane of all, even the Pope has given Alatra his blessing, something they make absolutely sure to boast about on their website. These activities, these attempts at gaining access to major governments across the world are happening right under our nose, and no one, besides a handful of people dedicated to following Aegon's trail, are talking about any of this.
Well, I mean, Disney was I mean, he was one of the first that I see that on that for sure. Maybe it was one of his viewers or a post, but still, I mean, his viewers are pretty, they're pretty crafty. Like they find shit, they find what is good information and whatever, and then they put it all together.
Ahoj přátelé, vítám vás z Afriky. Je to tady naprosto fantastický. Zrovna jsem přišel do vesnice. Hello, Klára! Tohle je jedna z mých hlavních pomocníků.
Allow me to introduce you to Jakob Yall, a journalist, YouTuber, and qualified expert in cults, dedicating his life's work to exposing them and the plethora of sophisticated techniques they use to manipulate their followers.
Chat, that is so risky, chat, because I've watched a lot of documentaries, and often enough, some of these guys will go into these places and do all that, right? And they're like, oh yeah, if anything wrong, I mean, will help with the police and all that. I mean, in a bunch of these cult sects, whatever, not only is the police in on it, like the police is helping them and shit. Like these guys are like they have no recourse. I mean, if you get into some place, I mean, you're cooked. You can't do anything.
He's also a humanitarian, having spent numerous years volunteering in Africa, traveling to communities like the town of Moshi, Tanzania, where he helped to provide education and support to people in less privileged situations than his own. Or at least, that's what he says he does.
Degloved again.
Scattered across YouTube are numerous near-identical documentaries that provide a much more sinister look into Jakob's supposed activities in Tanzania. Satanist in Africa, from charity to child abuse. The victims told the truth. Why is Jakob Yall still free? These productions span hours and appear to be entirely legitimate documentaries. They're presented by verifiable hosts who have taken to the streets of Moshi to interview locals who'd like to expose the truth. That Jakob Yall is a liar, a deviant, and that he secretly and covertly conducted an undercover operation to abuse and brainwash children in Africa. This case is so disturbing, so repulsive, that all over TikTok to this day are hundreds upon hundreds of videos spreading the word about this monster that has seemingly been hiding under the radar for years.
This horrible human being
Bro,
who
there isn't a single one of these that is like, has anybody, chat, anything under 1,000 views, anything under 10K views, let's be honest, it can be called a fluke or random shit. Like, no actual human has watched any of this shit, let's be honest. I mean, no human has actually watched any of this.
His name is Jakob Yall. He is from Czech Republic. He came to Tanzania.
Just take a look what this predator, Jakob Yall, who raped African kids, is saying.
Jakub Yachel raised thousands of euros, claiming it was to help children in Tanzania, and then he used this money to brutally abuse them.
This account, Ollie Climate Girl, is one of hundreds spreading the Jakob Yall story. Which is fine, it's good to get the word out. The part that isn't fine, though, is that this very account has already shown up in this video.
Yeah, I remember that. It's all a misinformation campaign against the guy because the guy actually does good or something? Is that what it is?
Jakob Yall never did any of this. The documentaries, completely fabricated. The endless support of them, entirely manufactured. Every bit of information we've learned about Jakob up to this point has been nothing but what Alatra wants us to know about him. Because just a few years ago, Jakob did something to absolutely enrage them. In 2023, Jakob Yall was one of a number of Czech journalists working to expose Alatra's activities. Turns out that he was instrumental in locating one of Igor Danilov's hideouts. And because of his meddling, he's now facing a coordinated smear campaign, essentially painting him as the devil. Unfortunately, it's difficult to parse who exactly is connected to Alatra and who isn't when it comes to their comment sections. They've amassed hundreds of them across their various uploads, and the overall sentiment ranges from unapologetic support to cautious skepticism. From what it seems, this massive psyop they're pushing is working in some capacity, as it's even caused the Czech government themselves to step in and investigate Jakub for these claims. It took years before he was exonerated, and while today he's thankful for it, the mental toll it took on him, combined with the internet's collective outrage about him doing things he never would have even imagined doing, all of it had unfortunately put him in an extremely dark place.
Fuck out of me.
Scare you? Sorry.
What is that?
Little pretzels with chocolate.
Oh, sorry. I'm. Oh, I like that though.
You like that?
Is it coconut?
Coconut, yeah.
Yo, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you not want these?
Oh no, thank you. Where'd you get that anyway?
When I got my food, they have like little, like healthy snacks.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Seen that before. Unreal, interesting. Okay, but chat. Wait, healthy?
Hello, this is Pastor Mark Burns, spiritual advisor to President Donald Trump, and I want to tell you, I'm here in the Tanzania embassy right now. Just had a wonderful, productive meeting. Jakub is not going to get away with the evil and the atrocities that has been done to these children. So let's continue to pray, let's continue to fight, and let's continue to tell the world that justice is coming. Jakub, you won't get away with this.
To this day, if you look up Jakub Jol on any search engine or social media platform, you'll find video after video painting him out to be a monster. It is an absolute travesty, and that's exactly how Alatra once said.
Yeah. These have so little views. I mean, also, they could also just cross-reference everything, no? People that post, that have these tags from that to this to that, whatever. I mean, the web looks kind of intricate, but it probably isn't that intricate, let's be honest. They probably don't do only one thing.
It's interesting. I don't know if you know, but this summer holidays, Alatra is again visiting Tanzania. They're going there with like 20 volunteers for 2 weeks. And you know why they do it? Because the children we were helping, they discovered all their orphanages, and now they are getting into that orphanages. Of course, when they give those people money, of course they will take it and they will be happy. So now they're going there and visiting those children we cared for years. And they're visiting them, and they will try turning them into this Alatra member in the future. They have like this whole campaign, and that's the real torture thing,
right.
Because they can't hurt me with lies when I know it's a lie, but they can hurt me with.
The first message Parsec writes in the chat, and it's some bullshit that like you haven't even watched me watch this. It's like bro, you turn your fucking brain off. Like imagine thinking that I'm sweeping for these guys. Like buddy, like you are not Destiny, dude. Like one day you're gonna wake up and you realize that you are not him, man. It's not that hard to understand. Like, at least sit down and try to listen and understand it, man.
Those children we helped them medically, we put them in school, and now they go there. Now they made all those people crazy, they're spreading those things, so I can't visit Tanzania anymore. So I can never visit them again, the children.
I mean, when did I sweep these guys?
We traveled there with a bunch of people for years. We cared for all of them. No one can visit them anymore, and all of those children are getting indoctrinated into Alatra code now.
Now that you're saying that, I had never considered that as one of the negative effects that Alatra has had on people. That I will say is probably one of the most grim out of everything, and I never knew that. So thank you for bringing that up, because I want more people to know about this.
Yeah, so that's like the real thing that's hurting me. That's the only thing I can't be laughing about. But the other things that okay, so they will kill me somewhere, That's like something I can laugh about.
Bro, what are you about? Bro, another guy doesn't listen. I'm about the mega hats. You were saying that it was a way to go outwards. When these efforts are ways to bring people inwards for themselves. Bro, maybe later on, once they get that power inwards, maybe then they have influence outwards, and it makes sense, right? But they're building that support, they're populating that like their people. I mean, they just find it vulnerable. They find vulnerable populations, and then they LARP as easy ways to get them, and then they get them inwards. You think do you really think that it's a way to do the opposites? Yeah, I find that to be incredibly illogical and honestly just kind of childish even of a thought. I think it's just bad. It's just you're a noob.
I don't care so much anymore when I know that it's much more important to fight against them. But this is something that hurts me, and I also feel guilty because if I would not visit those children and would not investigate cults, they would not be indoctrinated by this crazy cult that's now targeting them.
Elaborate then. Look how easy it is to find a conspiracy for somebody. Like, who is more likely to go for a conspiracy? Dude, the right loves skepticism and all that. They're a lot more prone to it. Therefore, it's a lot easier to inject an idea, inject a concept that isn't fully true, but a few things that look true. It's just you're gonna get a lot more people coming back. If you send 100 flyers with some bullshit to leftists or rightists or whatever, it's not a fact of, oh, it's 10 times more. I don't give a fuck. I'm not just debating the amounts. They're just gonna get more answers back. It's just a more targeted campaign. These guys have mastered, not maybe mastered, but they're clearly kind of decent at doing targeted campaigns and sort of manipulation of speech. It's their bread and butter. They even had scientists go to their conventions and get trolled because they would take their word against them and edit it. They clearly understand that a little bit of truth can go a long way to spread a bunch of lies. I mean,
at the end of all of this, I'm simply left feeling shocked.
Buddy, imagine okay, last pause. In all the schizo realms, okay, you're gonna tell me that the people like the rightist Andes aren't that gullible, buddy? They spent fucking months saying that, oh, Charlie Kirk had a explosive shirt pack that has velocity going backwards. Like, fuck off. Jesus Christ. Even when the forensics came out on the preliminary trial, okay, and it has the bullet and the bullet casing and the inside, the line, like, dude, but the USB port exploded. You can see the bomb. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, bro. And these aren't gullible. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Dude.
Shocked at the fact that something so random, so minuscule, a simple live stream by Destiny and a Reddit post to accompany it could morph into something so far from where we started. This entire time, Aegon Shalakian has been nothing but a cog in a much greater machine. A fraud in so many aspects of his life. Alatra to this day is operating around the world and is doing everything they can to entangle themselves in world governments to further their cause. Like with Robbie Wells and Mark Burns, their strategies have been undeniably effective. However, I believe that shining a spotlight on groups like this can truly help prevent them from weaseling their way into where they don't belong. What they've unleashed upon Jakob Jarl and the handful of other journalists that have exposed them is cruel and inhumane.
Chad, this is the problem, Chad, with what's gonna happen in the future. And I don't mean to be like a doomsday. Oh, guys, this is all the end of the world. I just mean that, especially with the rise of AI or whatever, these operations, it's not that it was unfeasible before. Is I think now, the cost dollar per effectiveness is so little. You can create a full web of operations like this, right, for very little money. Have all these AI shit, production, whatever, all these accounts, or do all this shit. Like, it's very effective for very little money compared to what it was before. And, I mean, that's a problem.
A handful of other journalists that have exposed them is cruel and inhumane, and it reveals to me just how effective the internet can be at swaying public opinion. If you had never watched this video and had randomly stumbled upon Jakob's story, I wouldn't fault you for believing everything that Alatra has been peddling. I wouldn't fault you for believing their climate disaster reports, considering the changes
social
our
media for
planet's
you.
seen in the past few decades. And I wouldn't fault you.
That's the mainstream news. I mean, I'm sorry for bringing it up. I mean, this is the mainstream news. That's what they do. I mean, that's literally the basis of the mainstream news. I mean,
for giving these people credibility, given the seemingly endless images and videos depicting them with powerful figures. While Igor Danilov, to this day, remains at large, his group continues to operate in capacities that I still don't fully understand. Who knows how many women are still under his grasp, worshipping him as something he isn't, coerced into satisfying him whenever he demands it, and being tormented into an agonizing silence. I can only hope that someday they wake up and realize how fraudulent everything about Elantra truly is.
All the presence of I mean, they're just gonna try again under some other pseudonym. I mean, imagine how easy it would be to replace everything that they've done under some new name and new conspiracy. They could get fucking Grok to generate this in fucking 20 minutes. Like, are you kidding me? They could get it, bro. As long as the bones remain kind of sort of intact, whatever, they could get this going tomorrow. Like, even then, even if they pretty scrub the whole thing and start from zero, and still be able to do it. Also, a big problem with these is that time goes by, people move on, and people get older, or whatever. Like, it'd be interesting to get like some of these early journalists that cover some of these things and kind of interview them and bring them back out and be like, back in the days, what was this like, or whatever, and what did you find? Because they only do articles that are good enough to be published and to be read, and they think that, like, you know what I mean? But the actual legwork, they probably did way more research. Like some of these people that work on the BBC early articles, they probably did way more legwork. Well, I mean, not really. I mean, no. Yeah, the people, the authors of that, whatever, they absolutely probably have way more material than whatever is out there right now. These guys scrub now. I mean, what tells you they didn't scrub before? There's lost media. There is genuine lost media with this, 100%. You think it's all intact the way you see it right now? Fuck that. Sometimes I can't even find my own VODs that 1,000 people watch from way back in the days. 8 years ago, some of my VODs are gone forever. It's lost media, literally. Actual lost media. Some of my old VODs. And they were watched by, like, some of them had over 1 million views. Literally lost media. Imagine things that had fucking 1,000 views. Shit could be fucking, they could have...
In the past, they used young women
I do the video
who were lured into the...
I think sometimes this channel, I used to be annoyed with it because it was just a lot of Reddit stories and bullshit, whatever. I thought this was a better, well-built thing that had more substance. And I'm actually glad this channel is going back more into better, more substance videos, because that's kind of what I tune in for. You know what I mean? So, big W for that. Well, I didn't want to shut on before because I like all of his videos. On something that was less substance and more, I get it. Some people like him, but yeah. Well, I'll link it. It wasn't inside your VOD website. No, before we got the VOD. The reason why we made the VOD website is that Twitch announced that they were scrubbing VODs 75 days, I think, 30 days, I don't remember. Back in the days, because if you were an old partner from way back in the days, you had your VODs fucking backed up forever. Like, look at some of the early creators, like Tatman. He had his VODs that were intact from fucking 10 years ago, all gone.